at some point, if things go well, they'll be able to play maps like Ancient versus some good teams. But yeah, no easy feat whatsoever. This is going to be a very, very tough series for them. And yeah, I think that Death brought up all the good points. You know, NiP did have kind of an easier route, and now they probably have one of the hardest teams they could possibly face to kick off the event.
So without further ado, here we go. Ancient, pistol round, and NiP to the T side. You know, NiP once chose Ancient against, I believe it was Complexity, and they, well, had a face full of Blame F and Config just tearing them apart, right? This is, as Maui Snake was talking about, a pick that they've tried to implement at times here and there. Sometimes it comes back to haunt them. Is today going to be another ghoul of a map 1? We'll find out. We've got Axile ghosting in the backside. 0 kills from the dedicated A play. Shiro close, and Hobbit as well coming in through Donut. But nice clean plant. You know, NiP, they need that one opening kill. Now they even have an extra little layer of comfort. Go for the boost on Hampus. Look how all these positions are being occupied inside sight. Everybody's just waiting to tether off of one another, and as Shiro comes around corners, he sees nothing. It's Hobbit with the first for the retake attempt. But he's going to play it tempered. You know, let somebody else then take that next engagement. It's interz, in fact, with another bit of impact. But a defuse trying to come through. There's a knife inside the smoke. Ugh. It gets sketchy, and it gets down to the 1v1, but that's where interz just stays composed and offers us this 3K.
Yeah, these retakes sometimes not so fun on rifle rounds with a lot more utility, like a late smoke into the temple or a late smoke for the rotation in CT, and that can be the end of the round. But on a pistol round, it's still very possible. Now, old Axile would get 3 kills there, but today he had a little bit of trouble with the USP. So we'll see if Axile's in form. You know, we don't know what how good the Gambit are going to play, but yeah, it's nice. They start with a pistol, and we know that. You know, of all the teams, I think that would struggle on T side, I don't think Gambit's going to be one of them. That's actually one of the sides I feel like a lot of teams learn from.
For sure. Figuring
out how, especially Nafany plays on the T side, and the amount that he can get out of it. So with strong mid control comes strong B defense, as they say.
Even without anybody in the cave, so be it. Hobbit's already tucked up, goes for a bit of a peek with the flash from sight, sees that there are numbers there, in fact, but he doesn't need to overdo it, decides that he wants to at least float here. It's a very well-earned position. And once he finally gets dinked, he decides, okay, now it's time to give this up. You don't want to offer that M4. There's nobody here to kind of, you know, emergency protocol with him. So they smack the turtle on its head, and all the limbs, oh, okay.
Nice.
I was going to say go hiding, but Hobbit goes jumping and then flying, sent to death by Hampus. Makes things a little more interesting. We can't get too excited just because of the, you know, nature of the Deegs.
Well, it's interesting. Shiro doesn't spot the cross here, so he doesn't trade glances with Hampus, but he's actually got a teammate not watching this either, so there's just a great timing for Hampus.
And now he gets the fruits of his labor in that promise. They've got this B site compromised in the sense that it was pinched from 2 sides, and sure enough, Plopsky finds interz, and another from Rez. Ooh. The Desert Eagles paying off in dividends for now. Shiro flanks, Axile back the opposite end, so the pinchers become the pinched, and it boils down to timing.
They close down and try to see if it's cave. They're not going to be aware of the flank, though. This could just be 2 for free.
He saw Rez.
He's good. Oh, now it's a one-on-one, yeah.
That's all made possible by Plopsky. Just because Rez showed him a little bit of skin. Come on now, 1 Deeg up close. He's got it.
Oh.
The damage is there. And because the flank spots Rez, he doesn't clear the pillar. Plopsky has a chance to turn and delivers the Deagle kills one after another. It doesn't look too good for Gambit out the gate.
Wow. Well, Groove looks good.
Exactly.
Oh, I mean, I'll say right now, you know, young Shiro's on 1280, or sorry, 1024 by 768 black bars. He can't see anything. But if you were on 16-9, you would have won that round. I'm just putting some propaganda out there.
Trying to spread the good word. Interesting opening.
Or if you were on 21 by 9, like you are, then you would have definitely won that round.
Am I on 21 by 9?
I think so.
No, I'm 16 by 9, 2560 by 1440p, 144 hertz.
Only 144?
Yeah, because 1440p. So when I come to events like this, and ESL is so nice to set up all of those computers in the conference room for us talent, I still make sure that even though it can go to 240 hertz, I keep it on 144. Because if you don't know what you don't have, you can't miss it. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it can make you feel bad.
I know my 2K gamers are out there.
Yeah, you're right. You know, your computer's gonna look like it lags when you go home if you go up. So, yeah, don't do that.
There's method to this madness.
Yes, you're not as crazy as you look.
Crazy that this B site seems understaffed. It's just interz, 5-7 and a flashbang, but we saw what he did with the pistol in the opening round. See if he can offer us another multi-kill here. He's pushed up close, so the positioning's not bad, but the lesser weapons in the face of adversity falls early. And while Nafany will try to come over, he's blocked off by smoke, and his other 3 teammates nowhere to be found.
Uh-oh. Wait a second.
Wait. Good thing Plopsky's there. Hashtag's like, what?
Dude, on that last round, I was thinking with Shiro sitting in donut and not holding the cross, that he was going to tell his teammates, like, you know, be aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole round falls apart, and like, wait, what? But because it's Gambit, you gave him the benefit of the doubt. But they aren't perfect.
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, they are. Apparently, they're not perfect. Shocking.
Is 2022 Gambit's year?
It's the wrong round to say that.
Okay. I'll ask again next time.
In 3-4 rounds, that'll be enough data to extrapolate to the whole year.
You know, we talk about teams that have made changes, that are looking to extract value from new players. I mean, yesterday with Mouse, I feel like it was truly like the tail of the Academy League and coming in, but Gambit, one of the few rosters, made no changes in the offseason.
It was them and Heroic of all the Tier 1 teams.
Yeah, essentially.
So, yeah, they still have to conquer their land demons. And you could call them that or you couldn't. I mean, it depends how you frame it, right? Because they, of course, still had deep runs on land, and those were very difficult to do, Cologne and the Major in particular. But still, not one-to-one results with how dominant they were online. So this will be a big event for them in that regard.
5-7. Oh, no, excuse me. CZ, the worst of the pistols. Able to open up in the hands of Hobbit. Quick trade, but check it out. There's a player back sight.
That's your subjective opinion, by the way.
Interz. Oh, he gets burned out. Still does a dink. And Shiro picks up an MP9 kill. So this is not a comfortable spot for NiP. They've already exited from long.
Oh.
But they continue to hit brick walls. It's Axile in with the AK pickup. Nafany, no. phzy's able to get the better of 2 players. And this could be a big moment from phzy. 3 kills in the 3v3, perhaps.
Well, yeah, the smoke is going to expire in just a few seconds, and Axile can try to reroute. phzy did go ahead and clear out the temple for a second, but you have to be paranoid of every single position, even if you leave one, with how close everything is here on the site. And you can see phzy, he's just reacting right now because he has no idea exactly where Axile's got off to. And honestly, Axile might get caught off to a play like this because phzy's now in a weird spot.
Yeah, this one, it's a horror film for both these players.
Oh my God, is Axile? He saw. Oh, yes, he did. Axile saw him.
That right there should be enough. And sure enough, Axile gets the better of it. But I mean, we saw it all for ourselves, dude. That's milliseconds and millimeters.
And millipedes, like the tattoo that phzy has on his arm.
God, I mean, I don't hate his tattoo, but I sure hate those bugs.
It's pretty cool, but yeah, I would never want to have one.
Milliseconds, millimeters, and millipedes.
Did Nafany got some new ink. He's having a twist glow up.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the hair is full, white like a cloud, and then, or he actually did cotton candy pink, right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
A little spritzer. Like this Mac 10 hopes to apply in mid, but Hampus, dude, he's such a troll. He gets inside of the smoke and will be found out by Hobbit. And now Hobbit looks for another. And the utility usage here is just, it's just drawing NiP like a moth to the flame. Inside smoke is Hampus. By the Molotov, of course, was Plopsky. And luckily for NiP, it is Rez to bring it back by 1. That kill within the caves as the push came forward off Gambit's play. But as they go forward themselves, they're met with resistance. Shiro's op on the back line of the A site, excuse me, B. Double kill made easy, and Esatag left alone. Won't be able to find anything on the opposite end of the map. Bomb was never even a part of either of those equations. That felt like Gambit won their mid-fight, and from there, NiP just attempted to hit the extremities, looking for anything.
If the lurk came out, then we got a whole different situation, but instead Gambit find the opening kill, and NiP go down. So yeah, actually I'd say NiP's best player in general is Hampus. Honestly, just I don't know if anyone would disagree with that at this point, but also on Ancient in particular on both sides. He's the guy who's going to lurk a lot, which it's welcome to try to pull off on T side, and then on CT side he'll be controlling middle, which is, of course, just like on every map, very key. But I think the magic for Gambit, well, they just got so many good things about them, but their B-site defenses are very powerful, and I think it's one of the few positions where interz, takes a lot of shine because he'll get a lot of action and typically takes a backseat on this team, but CT side Ancient, he's going to be anchoring a lot.
Little pistol creep as the other T's get hit by a nade. Axile keeps it nice and clean. Barely takes any damage on that one. Hangs on to some utility. No answer whatsoever from NiP. And not many tools to try and force it open.
I couldn't picture Axile without glasses because to me he's like an anime villain.
Sure, yeah. Like those glasses are just constantly glaring.
Like when he thinks of an idea, I see his glasses going all white.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that maniacal smile.
And then he gets a 3K.
Oh. Shuts down middle this time. NiP's woes continue here. Only 2 rounds on the T side, but I say only 2 rounds on the T side. We have to remember that so often nowadays we're getting these 12-3 CT halves. We're getting the comebacks, and once the swapping of the sides, it's.
Now we do, unlike some of the play-in games, because these teams are not, you wouldn't consider them evenly matched. I'd say that takes some of the emphasis off of the map itself when it comes to the sides again, because Gambit's T side is that good, tier 1 level. But it is still something that at least NiP can look forward to.
Sure. For now, it just feels to me like Gambit have such a voluptuous CT side in the sense that, man, they push forward. They've got more map control than it feels like NiP have ever been able to hang on to. We get this stance at the bottom of middle. It did fall back initially already, but I feel like NiP they're already a little bit timid just based on the amount of like jump ups we've had into this lane from middle. Hobbit's been a nuisance there. The cave player sometimes comes through. One or 2 times where NiP are able to establish some mid control. They get Molotov from out behind boxes.
So hard to find these Gambit players. You need ankle bracelets.
Who's getting tracked this time?
They make you waste so many grenades. They're so good at changing their positions and maintaining a similar level of control.
Nades come forward from NiP, smoking off Hobbit, so he'll be left shrouded in secrecy and uncertainty. Hampus. Dude, he loves a good old smoke push, but Hobbit, I mean, the perfect position for it. Hampus made to look like a fool here in round 7 on that one. 25 seconds left, and the only thing they have going for them is you'd think this potential A hit, unless they're going to double it back up lane right now, but that's with 0 information. Just a blind call to run down lane and try to hit this B bomb site. It'll be interesting to see if Plopsky can offer something through middle, because here he is, finding a bit of timing within the rotate. He's heard this. The audio's confirmation, but Axile's also flanking him. Enters with the double kill within that bomb site. Plopsky's trying his damnedest, and Rez does find opening. This is perfect. Perfect. At the final second with no bomb plant.
Oh, no time.
Oh,
they tried to get away with a little bit too much. I mean, they went with the lurk on Hampus, and I think that was a key moment in the round for Hampus. Obviously, if he gets that lurk off as the first stage, they have both sites that they can go to if they'd like to after taking mid control, but with him dying, they clearly ran out of ideas, went back to B, it was too slow. And I think that was also a key round in the match for Hampus as well, because he's not going to use that lurk all the way through middle every single time, because he knows that that's expected. So he's trying to pick the right situation where he can get away with it. He's not going to throw that in every single time.
very cool that Plopsky was able to take the position from him afterwards and still managed to make it work. just getting away from Axile as well, who was trying to clear that top middle, right? I think that's like the interesting element of like CT middle is the way that the stairs go up from middle and then down back into CT, right? It creates this crest that we just saw Plopsky get away with. Gives you that extra little second where you don't get shot in the back of the head. But those extra little seconds are exactly what NiP were missing in terms of the bomb plant. 1 smoke, 2 smoke, 3 smokes for NiP.
Everybody and their grandmama has a B site hit. Contact explode is coming in a few seconds.
Got Nafany committed to within the bomb site. Hobbit, easy first pickup, but the flashbang is good. And Nafany now primed. They're going to be looking at him. And interz also able to just come wide with that peek and just rack up those kills nicely. Hampus position predicted. Shins, shrapnel. And his route smoked right off. Another one for Gambit. Just surviving these, you know, these wonky rounds are what could get wild.
Yeah, that was a nice 1-2 punch between our player sitting in the cubby on site and the other one rotating through the smoke. And there was really no choice from no chance for NiP. I think they might have been better off to actually. I thought it was going to be a contact explode, but it ended up being some kind of half execute where they threw some nades. And the only problem with throwing some nades is just that now it allows you to get counter-naded, to be telegraphed, and give your opponents a few seconds to get in position. And when you're low on grenades, sometimes it's good to try to, you know, see if you can catch someone holding a grenade out, or just go off of a single flash and hit the site. But here we saw Gambit were very ready. I think no matter what happens, they would have been pretty ready.
Yep. Most certainly. I mean, Nafany still was very comfortable. They were going to be drawn into him, and we saw interz just, you know, that team play, right? That connection.
He interrupted it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. He did. He did indeed.
Yeah.
And it leaves NiP in an interesting position.
No, stop it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it, but I can't. All right. All right, man. I suppose one of us has to be serious. And everybody knows it's me.
It's the glasses.
It'll do it.
Well, we got better guns. But we've had better guns in the past that didn't work out so well. Similar scenes here from Gambit as they take control of middle and put a lot of pressure on B early outside of B. That is frustrating because NiP love to sit outside of B, so this early info is going to tell them so much.
You've already mentioned it, right? This changing of positions,
wow,
the consistently different spots. I don't know if I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is pretty thorough.
Damn.
Yeah, the real emphasis on mid control for here from CT side. That's, I want to say, slightly unique for them. But that's also an insane angle that Axile used.
Ooh.
Wait, now he's alone.
But they don't swarm him.
Yeah, they don't. It's tough. He's got no one behind him just yet.
Oh,
no way.
They go back for the 1v1, and that's just beating Axile.
Oh, Jesus.
2.5 kills from the committed A play. You love to see it if you're Gambit. That's Axile just having his way with NiP on their attempt to A site. And look, it sends them back.
They're genuinely in safe territory at 45 seconds. They lost all their odds. They don't have anything outside B, and they got called out there. That was just all Axile, man. I mean, that angle looks so OP versus Esatag walking in, but he was totally exposed on that one route. If Esatag went the other way, he would have got shot in the side. So, that confidence, that preparedness, seeping through for Gambit. And they'll try to hit B here.
I mean, I think it's a setup that could still play for them. Just got to deal with Nafany within bomb site. Hope Shiro doesn't finish someone off. But Nafany, only the one. And they know that the Opera just took that shot, so he will be coming in. Can he stop the plant? No, sir. Just in the nick of time, but a no-scope through the wood just weakens phzy to the point of no return. Hampus 1v3 shut out by Hobbit's rotation. Sure, you get a bomb plant. Yeah. Sure, you get more than you should, but it is still Shiro no-scoping through the wall, of all things.
Yeah, that was beast. I can't believe it didn't do more damage. It is just wood after all. You know how M4 bullets are called 5.56?
Yes, 5.56 NATO rounds.
AK bullets are 7.62?
By 3.9.
What are op bullets?
I think they're, I don't want to say 50 cal. Because it's not like a Barrett 50 cal. I don't know, is the op, I don't know if the op is a real weapon. Like the M4 and the AK.
Arctic Warfare Power.
Okay, yeah, nice try. Nice try. Nafany, also props.
Well, with that bomb plant, they get a buy. That's pretty much the only way to get one. All their nades and everything.
Axile goes a little more, you know, he's feeling real confident.
That's when you know you're losing. Someone's pushing through spawn this early.
Yeah. Just testing the waters.
Wow, that's always...
Look at the shadow.
How big is that shadow?
Oh, whoa, Shiro missed the shot. That's going to give a little bit of wiggle room here to the T side, but it also calls to action the two other Gambit players that are here to help the sniper. Look at these rifles just trained in on ramp. They wait, but so can NiP because they've got this opening towards middle and Hampus.
There's still some non-zero chance, you know, this Cubby player could get away with something, but it looks like they have him spotted.
Yeah, bomb goes back. By catching interz pushing, or excuse me, Axile pushing on the A site.
They smoke B smartly at 45 seconds so they can free up the rotations. They're going to be worried about a lurk. It slows down the cross towards A, so that does leave Mr. Hobbit alone just for maybe enough time. Okay, now Nafany will start to make his way over. I think NiP are unfortunately a little bit predictable at this point.
They get wind of it, but
Hobbit stopped shooting.
Yeah, Hampus wins the fight, and that could be the crucial difference maker if Nafany's not able to deliver anything more than that one kill. He falls back with lesser health, doubling up the Molotovs to just ensure that Gambit can't interrupt this bomb plant. We've got NiP in the post. And unlike last round, this time they have health advantage. Utility near non-existent for Gambit, a single flashbang on interz. But, you know, he's so far removed,
yeah,
still back on middle that...
Very slow, looking for a lurk.
It's just screaming save at this point. So even though it did feel predictable, even though it was only Hobbit, I think Hobbit dying without that kill onto Hampus through Donut, that's really what spells disaster for Gambit and their ability to try and hold.
Yeah, wisely, you know, not going for this considering the HP, and they'll get an exit, looking for two, can't grab two. That's great for NiP. I mean, they found the entry fair and square. I just felt like Hobbit shot some bullets and was either going to switch to a grenade or just one of those situations where he was so positive he got the kill, but was dead wrong.
We've been there.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
So they'll concede. I'm still going to hold that they were a little bit obvious in the sense that they, you know, they didn't have an option to go back to B. Plus, it got cleared and smoked that late.
Yep.
So the rotations came in on time. But NiP, you know, still going into the site, they still had a 3-on-1 for just a second. So with some good entry work.
I think the, you know, deep positioning from Hobbit, leaving middle so clear, so open. You saw how that actually, I think, tainted the rotate and the speed of it. Nafany was very cautious coming through CT spawn, had to walk the entire time, didn't want to give audio cue to the position that we've already seen Hampus try to take. He's been attacking Red Room, he's been trying to get up into Candles, and Nafany's cautiousness created timing that I think NiP just got away with, because it was predictable.
Yeah.
Gambit knew what was coming, but they didn't necessarily know exactly where from. That one makes the difference. So NiP with that bomb plant 2 rounds ago with a round win in the last, they've put themselves in a decent spot here to still give us something of a T side.
Man, look at how much emphasis there is on mid control once again, and NiP don't know all about it right now because they don't have anybody trying to take it over. But this has really put a dampener on the ability for NiP to get away with any kind of weird lurks. The fact that they're willing to put so much pressure early on.
Yeah.
It's got to be annoying for Hampus.
It's really what was missing last round, and that's what opened the door for Hampus. He caught Axile on the A site, and anything that was towards the mid pressure, that's what got drawn away. This time, that's not offered over. I feel like Gambit are going to just be a little more reserved to make sure they can get back to winning ways. Utility.
Idea's pretty good, though, from NiP. They dodge all the early grenades, which Gambit threw and can't get back, and they're going in for a late mid when the CTs are less likely to be there. Makes a ton of sense. Oh, but they're actually hitting B instead.
Oh, and interz shrouded behind the pillar. phzy's right there. There is a trade, at the very least, but it is phzy that's left, and all that's left for NiP. Ooh, frag goes beyond. Not going to be an issue for him. 25 seconds, dives back behind the column, and prioritizes plant. Now he has the smoke to the left, and he just got by the peak to the right. Incendiary will ensure that he's not still in sight. But at 1-9 and playing off the Galil at half HP, this would need to be phzy step up to a level that we haven't seen yet here on Ancient. Shiro is cut off in the sense that he peeked alone, but Shiro is also sharp. Op shot connects, Gambit take 8.
Hard to catch that guy off guard, that's for damn sure. Shiro had an insane V4 Budapest, relayed it down. Of course, just an insane player coming out of last year, and I think outside of that, because he wasn't at Blast Groups, this is going to be the first big event that he's played so far. But we know he's feeling good. Yeah, that was a little different. It did feel like some mid to late round mid control was coming out, and so that was a little tricky, I think, from NiP. But Gambit didn't stay in mid that long and had 2 players left in the B site ready to defend with each other. And a lot of it comes down to that entry. That guy who's at the top of Banana, does he catch someone with a nade out? Do they figure out where both players are before dying? These are important criteria. Sometimes there's an element of luck to it, but yeah, as they say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Do you agree with that?
Yep. So if you're lucky, why do you need to be good?
Fair. Because it's more consistent.
Yeah.
Oh, Rez. Okay, able to get away. That flash was just a second after he tucks into pocket. It's been a little while since we've seen Hobbit jump on those boxes and attack down lane. By firing off his gun, that's going to draw the attention of Rez. Rez got to be careful he doesn't get caught. Rez goes hunting off of it, but Hobbit, that was nothing but a deer call. Rez gets skinned alive. Hampus trying to trade it back around Donut, but look at this angle. It's more than just one player here as well, so we'll see what Hobbit can draw away with. They're right there.
Oh my goodness, can he see a gun? Oh, he does.
Ooh.
Oh!
Hampus keeps it clean, but remember, we've got Shiro inside Temple, Axile within bomb site. Shiro lets a player cross on long. He knows he's pressured from 2 directions, shuts down phzy, and only phzy left over with a single point of health. He wants his plant, he'll get nothing for it as Gambit rack up their 9th.
Man, they were all in such difficult positions to find. I mean,
every round.
Oh man, every round they're playing sick right now. That's, yeah, it feels like a map that we've seen basically everything on already, but Gambit are showing us some new interesting setups. Very provocative, probably coming from Groove in the suit.
It's a nice change. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, coaches and professionalism.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
We haven't had that much of that.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
Look good, feel good, fingers crossed, do good.
Yeah. Do anything to win.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then you're fired.
Yes, would you like to be a coach? Do you have morals?
No.
You're hired.
You're hired. Here's a raise.
An eyebrow raise at the moment because NiP have just kind of gone silent with 0 B control like they usually like to. As you said, right? They enjoy a good sitting outside of the B site.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't one of those rounds where Gambit have actually, pried too far forward. As they start to run out of rounds on this T side, NiP maybe just looking for a burst, a quick pop, blast of energy.
They're going to go through middle.
Yeah, by the looks of it, okay, this is new. This is different. This is new. Interz gets drawn back from the B site. Hobbit already in his position, but a quick trade. The thing is, Axile, well, hold on. Not going to get taken off of A. I was going to say fall to the player on long, but he actually gets his gun back out in time, and the rest of the mid push doesn't go as easily as they would have hoped. Shiro was inside smoke, waiting for a chance to strike, but I feel like Gambit really felt as though it was all in top mid. They evacuated the B site quickly. They gave that over. They weren't worried about it whatsoever, because NiP did feel all in.
Yeah, that was like Dark Souls 2 mob spawns. At every single turn, there's a mob.
I'll pretend to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically, there are just too many.
Okay.
And with Gambit right now, when they turn 3 corners, there's 3 Gambit players.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
They are mobs.
Yeah. They don't even have to move. They have such good angles all the time. Look at this. I mean,
positions are sick.
Yeah, they're covering everything.
Exile inside A long that one round. Beauty of a multi-kill solo play. Hobbit, the time Hampus tried to peek through that top mid smoke, which was really the last time we saw Ninjas go through top mid, barring the one round from Plopsky, able to push through with the pistol. So they get a little bit further in terms of mid control this time, Ninjas, and what are they met with? Another different setup, another great crossfire, and another confident Gambit round win.
Yeah.
Running out of
You
chances.
called it the win already. That's how it feels.
No, last round. Last round.
Oh,
was the
last
win.
round. Okay.
Yeah. But if you want to call this one a win as well, go ahead.
It feels like it.
Doesn't it? Ooh. Dunked on.
Ooh, Hampus so badly. He's like, oh, do I turn this corner? Are they still in mid?
Last time Rez went chasing over the lip of mid, that's when Hobbit was standing in the open and killed him.
They'll wait the smoke out, but they obviously still seem intent on hitting the B site with this pincer from both Banana and the cave.
Held on to a good amount of grenades, but just as they go to use one, they're, of course, met with resistance. 45 seconds.
I want to say it's not, not a bad attack, but there's still 3 CTs here.
This is like Bermuda Triangle of a defense from Gambit.
They're going to sink.
Or swim for a 4th round win. We'll see. Smokes over top. Push comes in through behind it. Nafany goes down empty-handed. It's a boost beyond the smoke. And they may not realize that it's actually better vision. No way. Almost stops that bomb plant, but the gun goes dry. Rotate comes over. Smoke thrown to interz, a true support. And there's the push from Hobbit, just finding phzy inside of caves. That takes away what was a crucial element of this post plant, but there is still a part of this equation that's yet to come through. Hampus very quickly going for that CT flank, but he now can no longer make sound. And down on ramp is where phzy makes his final stand. He gets the one, Hampus gets ever closer, single kill, double kill, Exile, ooh, and he's not able to hold anything whatsoever, not like Shiro can. Double kill, but no time, folks. He throws away his weapons in defeat, a 4th for NiP.
Damn, not bad. Okay, Hampus does find that lurk. And yeah, I mean, they set up things pretty well. Gambit actually, for once, it felt like didn't know for sure that it was going to be the B site. They didn't have any A control. They kind of slightly gambled towards B and read that correctly, but their one player on the site failed. He was totally blind. I think it was interz in the corner. Had no idea someone had swung out that wide, and they tried to come through with a tricky boost. They had Nafany get up on top of his teammate's head, and it was a boost that couldn't see over the smoke, but he was jumping to get some extra vision. And because nobody really does that, NiP were not trying to clear that angle because they normally don't have to worry about it. So some more tactics here from Gambit. And the round does come close enough that it's still scary for NiP. Because they lose all 5, we'll have to see if their money is still even good enough to put together a decent buy. Already seeing Galil's come out. But a 4th round is a 4th round.
Yeah, grab what you can while you can. One more attempt on this T side. A couple other moments of the, what could have been, what should have been from NiP. Still keeping Gambit on their toes, I feel like. And, Gambit having to pull out all their little tricks and all their little stops. And there's 2 players here tucked inside of pocket. Interz. Oh my god.
Oh no, they're smoked to death.
Yeah, they're set on fire and they start to chase, but had they gone too far, then Shiro's about to hit them. And on the other end, we've got Nafany. This is just a skewer.
They're the peanut butter and jelly in the sandwich right now.
Smush slammed. Thank you, ma'am. 5v2 for Gambit.
Ay, ay, ay. How it feels to be a condiment.
Right, the bear trap, that was the play from Gambit. Now what's left of NiP is going to go charging forward into the A site, and Plopsky with a little bit of success here. Hobbit lines up both players barely alive at this point. This is a very clutchable round for phzy considering the health of the CT side, but he falls short, and arguably so do NiP. 4 rounds at the end of this T side. I'm sure they can't wait to set the second. Gambit. Into this B site, they'll charge. Essa tag from the corner with Plopsky as well. Quick little two-piece between them. That backline now compromised. Shiro gets the trade, but Essa tag delivering more kills in this pistol round than he did in the entirety of that first half. So maybe a swapping of the sides can change the guard. Big round from Easy Tag.
Yes. They call him price tag. Maybe he's worth the price.
Six figures.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say 6 rounds to tie up against Gambit, but yeah, they'll be in a better mood now, starting here with the pistol. So we'll see what happens. Gambit, I think they got ecoed, and then they ecoed NiP back, something like that in the first half.
Yeah.
2
rounds after.
I really want to let the game tell the story.
Well, then we'd be out of a job.
Oh yeah, that's true. The game can't tell the story, actually. I'm necessary. You think they'll ever replace us with robots?
I've thought about that. You know, there are certain countries in the world that do that with news reporters.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be VTubers soon.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
But no, I think we have a pretty humanized job. You know, I shot for something
nice copium.
I shot for something where the robots couldn't get us. You know.
Yeah.
What about the first AI players?
Yeah.
I don't think of that.
Are they going to remember the memes? I don't think so.
No, they won't.
All right.
Pistols up.
I don't think the players will get replaced either. Otherwise, what's the point of watching?
Yeah, well,
we want to see the emotions.
Some players try to replace themselves with AI already. Those are the cheaters that get banned.
Dude, if they win this round, that would be insane.
But they won't, Mohan.
Okay.
They're not allowed to win a round if all they have is a single deagle.
I like to keep hope alive.
It is illegal in the server to pull off such a thing.
Uh-oh.
Hamp is going to make sure that the laws are followed. But the deagle did cross over into the corner, so maybe that'll catch him off. Uh-oh.
Wish you had an A4, didn't you?
No, at least he can get his reload in. It's like, maybe I don't have to peek anything here.
Hampus said he has 30% hearing in 1 year right now.
Bro, this is, for a moment, looking uncomfortable. Oh my god, Hobbit. No!
It'll
Hobbit!
run out. It'll run out.
No!
Oh. I thought he was actually fine.
Falls into the depths of Mount Doom and is sent into the next one. But, hey, at least that way he denies the, you know, gun bonus.
Yes.
There were SMGs on the field.
SMGs, yeah, you got to run from those. There was a small period of time where people would all stand into a molly. Into molly.
Sure.
And give up some money, but not as much as they would if they're... Look at this knife!
Little blue gem case hardened Talon. Holy moly.
I'm going to try to guess his Steam guard after this.
Well, we know where they're playing, you know? You just got to get your hands on that SSD. Pushed up heavily inside of caves is NiP here. Their first true test, as it is weapons in the hands of Gambit. No longer attacking an A site with rocks and sticks. Modern technology. But a smoke grenade well timed to just keep things off. So we wait. I think Hobbit gave us a fantastic showing in terms of CT mid-play. Now he's the solo mid-player.
They're doing the double push here to the bottom. You know, it's some great angles here. They have to refresh the smoke. It's actually really important.
Yep.
Don't want that to come up, but it's a little deep, so they're going to allow phzy to take first contact.
Oh, nice flash,
yeah.
But not enough. I was going to say, Nafany knew that he was just carved off from the rest of the pack. He was the wounded water buffalo that got left behind, and the rest of his team didn't go too far. They're just inside of that doorway. 30 seconds, and Gambit have drawn Hobbit from middle, closer towards the lane. He gives them a decoy. They're not going to be too convinced by that one. 20 seconds, man. This has got to be the B hit, but, I mean, there's still strong numbers here. 2 players pushed up within the cave. phzy is smoked off, so maybe that's not
no
going to be enough of a hold.
Yeah.
Hobbit distracted for a moment, and in that moment, Plopsky's able to strike. Tag and phzy here to stop it all. This falls entirely flat.
Wow.
Like a 4-day-old soda.
Yeah, you kind of, wow. Yeah, sometimes it only takes 2. But yeah, like you said, you put some emphasis on the thought there that with under 20 seconds, it's like, whoa, you know, you need to start scaling. And you saw they're putting the bomb down while there's still players fighting. That's a bad sign. So clock was against Gambit, even though they did get into the site. And that is maybe an IGL problem. It's one where you go, Nafany, let's get the troops together a little bit faster. There's nothing stopping them from beginning that execute 10 seconds sooner.
Hobbit dead to the flames yet again. Nafany spotted on the extremity of A, and that's all that Gambit are looking to play with. Gotta be honest, I thought Gambit were gonna switch this T side and give us something empowering. Something,
they looked
hot off the press.
They looked weird at the beginning of the first half as well. And then they got it together. But I think a big reason why they win such a high percentage of their T-side rounds is they're willing to work for every single one. They will bring it down to the wire.
Okay. 3 taps and 1 connects.
phzy said he can rifle.
It's something that we've questioned him for at times.
He needs to work on it.
And, you know, a little triple tip, tap, tap. Ain't too bad.
Oh, well, they've got to start moving back a little bit now.
Shadow makes phzy nervous, trying to peek around with Flash. It works out well enough. interz not going to be able to finish phzy. So Axile takes a bomb plant, which is in and of itself a little bit of a success story, but still it's an 8th round win for NiP and a 3-round lead that Gambit are slowly losing grip on.
Yeah, this is ultimately NiP's map pick. Of course, it never feels like it with Gambit, and they don't have an edge in the veto versus Gambit, like most teams don't. It's just particularly bad for NiP. But with this map in the pocket, if they were able to grab it, I mean, maybe they don't win Vertigo, but again, they've got an overpass at the end.
Yeah.
And that would be quite a battle.
It still just feels like on an individual level, the Gambit players were giving us enough on the CT side to just, translate that success, but they've been kind of stunned by the slower plays and by some of these CT setups. Yet once more, they come out of the gates flying and then abrupt halt on the cusp of that A site. They move back, but they've never had anything towards B, and Plopsky's already carved out some information for himself.
So Gambit's whole deal on T side is just faking pressure all the time, and you end up just losing all your grenades thinking they're going to commit at one point, and they never do. And then all of a sudden, they literally just walk out and take a dried duel, and you have nothing to fall back on. And that's where Gambit get you most of the time. So on the CT side, it's really just about being as cheap as possible when it comes to your utility. But then also using enough so that you don't regret it for that one time they do rush.
Yeah, and then that guessing game that Gambit keep you within for an entire half. But a walkout middle from Hobbit, denied by Hampus. He goes on to the retreat in a 5v4. Comfortable position at the 45-second mark yet again.
Not bad. And again, Hampus controlling middle. This will be a key focus of this half there to win it.
Missed shot. Chiro, crucial moment that would have gotten back the 4v4. Plopsky comes activating out from pocket. phzy tethers with him. And a 4v1. NiP just chewing apart Gambit on all fronts.
That's well played. That's
2 kills
awesome.
mid, 2 kills outside B. Individual players, individual layers.
And the thing that just stands out right away is they're just not getting one bulleted. It's NiP are just winning these opening duels. So that just eases up the pressure. It's a foregone conclusion. This round's over. Axile will sit back. This team can maybe talk about what to do next. And it's just such a perfect round from NiP. I mean, it's got to help you lower your shoulders a little bit and say, okay, we can do this. You're kind of always in jeopardy with the idea that even if you go on the win streak, since you have to come back on the CT side, if you don't save money while you're winning rounds, your economy will be broken in half within 2 round wins by the T side. But what we've seen so far is NiP have had 1 or 2 deaths across these last 2 rounds. So almost nothing to worry about on that front either.
I almost feel like ninjas can start to have this cautious optimism. Like, guys, we're winning. it's working, and nothing has really caught them too much off guard. But there is always that inevitable question of when. And I think Gambit will be thinking something similar. When will NiP drop the ball? When will somebody miss a shot like Shiro did last round in middle? That slight difference that can just turn the result of a round. This is a curious one here. Hampus, Hobbit within Donut. And we've also got Rez not too far off, but he's a little more preoccupied with this pressure applied on the A site itself. Now he activates, attacks Rez from the back, but we still had Hampus in a potential spot to make a play. No, sir. Double denial to the favor of Gambit. Finally, something goes perfect for them. 2 clean kills, no fallback whatsoever, no volley. And NiP will have to be forced back into the save. So, Gambit, slice right through.
Yeah, they made some high-pressure moves right there, and without even showing a single player, they got Gambit up until the corner of turning into Donut, and 4 of the rest of the players getting ready to hit the A site. But for NiP, all of their eggs were inside of Donut, and that meant that they had to figure out when Hobbit would attack from middle, if he was there in the first place, and when they could turn towards the A pressure. And Nafany and Hobbit played that so well, and it's a great call from Gambit overall. And just like NiP winning that last round without dropping a player, Gambit do the same. But still, it remains true that NiP did such a good job on the 2 rounds they won, that they've got, 10K a player on the ones remaining. They saved 3 on this round, so they don't exactly have anything to worry about still.
Hobbit, most experienced player on Gambit, and the guy who I feel like always steps up in these important LAN events. The final piece to the Gambit youngsters, willing to take a step down in terms of, rosters at the time, and look how much it's paid off.
Oh, that's for free.
Big pickup. Nice to see him have his name stamped on a round early on. Falls back as well as to minimize mistakes. Doesn't want to offer this one back.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. I mean, they could obviously know an Opper would do that, and they could set some nades and flashes to try to deal with it, but they send Nafany out first, so it does create suspicion that maybe it's a lurk. However, there are a bunch of players behind it.
Yeah, 3 members ready to go, a 4th in tow. Interz ahead of the fire. We got phzy pinned to the corner. He makes his play, and good timing to get that frag prior to the full execute before there's any trade potential. So their only chance at trading is, as we saw, spamming through the walls. But Hobbit, nice
left click.
Exactly, straight down the middle, dunks it on phzy's head. And that's just an interesting way to bring it back, because if not, we're talking 3 versus 5, still a stacked B site. It'll be curious to see how this round ends up, because Hobbit, that could have just been so crucial. I tried to allude to his importance coming into this round. Well, now he takes the helm within the caves. Hampus ready to receive.
Duel is imminent, and a flash to help him scale. They refresh the position inside the pocket, but look at this late smoke.
Crucial. Boost over top of it. Hampus gets wind of it, executing Hobbit and sending his teammate back the other direction. There's still a chance to scramble, but no, not with a big flank like this. They're gonna have to concede, and that is NiP with 10 on the scoreboard. Yep. Only 2 the difference, and an immediate reset as well. 5 rounds straight from NiP CT side. We get Gambit's answer in the clean A play, and right back to the defensive winning ways.
Now for Gambit, they save 2. Both those players have enough to get grenades for themselves, of course, which you can't drop a full kit, so a full buy will still come in. And for that reason, we're getting such a high percentage of rifle rounds here in the second half, which makes this game even more compelling. But Gambit know their lead is small and waning. Another timeout called from Gambit, and Groove will chime in.
It's a really nice pin as well.
Yeah, man, he's absolutely looking dapper right now.
Dripping. Really,
I would want to win. I would want to win for that guy. He spent 45 minutes getting dressed. I'm not going to slacken the server.
Everybody has more authority in a suit.
Facts. Look at all the best dictators of all time.
Yeah, incredibly well dressed. Smoke top mid, CT's push beyond it. Hobbit.
Uh-oh.
Falls back. This man has been living this T side inside fire.
Yeah. Eesh. changes things up a little bit. But they do make sure that there is not as much pressure. Now, phzy, opportunity. I was going to say, he put himself in such a good spot. Last round, he got the kill, and he almost found a new way to kill Nafany. And they actually circumvent.
He's trying to get out.
Yeah, smoke will come down. And at least this leaves Gambit with mid control.
For a second there, dude, phzy thought he was under siege.
Oh, but they won't expect a second up, will they?
They shouldn't. No, they shouldn't.
I think that second up can make a world of difference on Gambit, especially because, again, they use a lot of grenades, but almost never for the execute. And then they start dry peeking things. And right now, they think they know where the one op of the round is.
Mm-hmm. The second, of course, Rez pushed up so close.
Wow.
That could draw it out.
Yeah, Hobbit's still scared of it.
Doesn't shoot. Still NiP with an element of secrecy. Bolstered B bomb site. Another slow burn round from Gambit. 35 seconds. And there's an insensible stillness within this B site. NiP have not given wind to their positions, to their weaponry. They've just sat here quietly, and it's about to pay off, maybe. They push down ramp as the attack come through cave. S-Attack will find one through smoke. Hampus in the backside, good to go, but there is an answer between Axile and interz. Still such little HP between the three that still stand on the side of Gambit. They'll get their bomb plant. But that double op, does it come back to haunt NiP? phzy's been smoked off this entire time. Man. Rez has been nowhere to be found. And by the time he gets here, bomb will be 1/3 of the way gone already.
HP bars might not even matter. You know, a lot of this could come down to S-Attack since they have ops to work with, but Rez does get one.
And that's going to help. Cave smoke goes down because utility is also a part of the equation. Rez, he had that full belt of grenades. Axile falls all the way back. 5 health, good tap. phzy goes down, but Rez is posted on this angle and the defuse gets stuck.
Okay.
It's NiP with layers, baby.
Yeah, that's good. And that's passing the 20-second mark again when Gambit are trying to get into the site. That's a terrible move. I mean, sorry, it's a terrible sign, I should say. It's not, you know, they have a high likelihood of things going wrong, but it is also a symptom of NiP, you know, pulling off some tactics to either get damage or slow Gambit down in the early round, making their decisions look worse the longer the round goes on. And this exec, it's not exactly compelling. Not a lot of pressure on the pocket player as well, and that's a spot that's getting used by almost everyone these days. And it's still viable with some pressure, and whoa, an instant material trade down.
Way faster.
Oh, 2 for 1, but that's a mid player and an A player, so they're just going to run right into the site.
Looking for a second successful attempt at this A site. Hampus gets into position for the 1 kill. Axile drops bomb in the meantime. That was lickety split. Finally, Hobbit not completely held back by smokes towards mid. And oh, they get it. The kill is theirs, but the plant goes the other direction. Shiro kind of stuck awkwardly here. He got hit ever so slightly. Could have been heard. interz with a higher angle. S-Attack working inwards, trying to piece together this picture. Nice bit of movement, nice jump. But now it's just about shaving off interz and then dealing with Shiro. A smoke grenade in the front of Temple, a jump across the gap. S-Attack tries to chase down the players. He kills Shiro first, but it's interz on the other end of this. Time is of the essence. It's a USP out, and interz goes for the flash. Is there enough time?
Oh, I don't think.
Gonna come down to the wire. Hold your breath. NiP. Boom! They've got the 12.
Oh man, that was so close. That's well done from S-Attack. And yeah, I mean, he knew where they both were. He said, okay, I've just got to spam this smoke. They're not showing themselves on the other side of it. Well, they pull it off. And that's 12-12, a tied scoreline. And that's a round where Gambit get into the site with the immediate 4v3. They're going to be feeling bad about it. That clutch could totally change the game here for NiP.
Big moment. Potential turning point, but compare the the pace of that last round. We get that really fast mid frag. We also had the attack come out A at the exact same moment. Axile was able to pick up that one. This time it's Rez killing interz immediately. Nafany finds the head of Hampus, and they're just gonna try to push out. Ooh, clean taps from Axile.
Jesus.
Takes away the CT player, but there are 2 more still back there. And the attack through Temple, perhaps. Nafany, a 1/4 health. Utility all over the place.
Well, they still just want to trade before they put this bomb down. They're still worried about the fact that Donut and CT have a crossfire.
Nice play from Nafany. He jumps up onto the candles, and they're not even playing the bomb plant. Hobbit has still yet to reveal himself on this huge flank, and Plopsky's position seems to be unknown, but because Gambit hit the brakes, pull the E-brake, and just wait, look at how it pays off. NiP feeding them frags, but Plopsky maybe forcing clutches down their throat. A 1v4 halfway there already. Hobbit to the right side, spotted, and damage so crucially done.
Oh my god.
But a clutch, not one.
Yeah, Nafny was low with an op. Sitting inside of Temple, Plopsky almost had one hell of a round. Another clutch probably would have been too much. The A exec ends up working out. And even though Rez gets his opening kill from there, they basically get nothing else. I don't think a single kill on the site defense. And that is the Gambit special, you know? Default 5 rounds in a row, fast round all of a sudden. No in between.
Hobbit looking to serve up some more towards mid, but Happus gets the edge.
You could see they're leaning into this opportunity. If they can go, you know, 1 for 1 in mid, they'll happily take that. Oh, a chance to get in the sight, but the smoke messes his vision up. Esotag wins his duel, and he has had quite a recovery from the first half.
Good damage. Oh, I love this. NiP gonna keep it close as can be. Gambit have to concede it, fall back. A full minute 15 save call, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody at home, take this chance. Go get a snack or something.
No one else does this.
For the rest of the round, NiP are going to be on high alert.
I mean, thank God everyone's not like Gambit.
Where are they, man?
Holy. But yeah, I mean, they could still win. They have nades.
Yep. But is this change of pace kind of, you know, Gambit acknowledging, like, guys, 2, 3, 4 rounds we've fizzled out in the last 20 seconds. We need to just do something different. We need to play a bit more, you know, aggressive. And we know Gambit can. They have explosiveness, and it's worked. For better or worse.
They're just too good at math. That's their biggest issue.
Ah, damn nerds.
The downfall of CSGO, actually, is just becoming too good at math. So we need to keep the people stupid.
Keep them stupid and keep them entertained.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Smoke?
Incredible. It's mental warfare. But yeah, to be real, you know, if this is the middle, like the early part of the game or whatever, I don't even think you'd see Gambit save. But in this situation, it is them just thinking about how much money is on the line in this position, knowing they have this one more chance to buy. They're defending against match point on this next round. NiP will feel great about this, though. Money for Hobbit. He and Nafny can both get Galils. The buy will be reasonable, and they had the op saved. And as much as that's funny to watch, it does make the situation a lot more scary from NiP. They would have loved to close out a 5v3
for sure
on that previous one. Wipe the guns clean and have a free eco. But it's never that simple versus Gambit.
Happus, this consistency in the CT side for NiP. And, you know, we've been looking at Happus to kind of be the top fragger for this squad for some time now. We'll see if he can just ice off what's left of this. Hobbit trying to force his way through fire. Rez even giving us something to talk about, as his donut plays have been crucial. More damage done here versus interz. Happus just finding it through the smoke, and Rez offering us a multi-kill, potentially the third. It's right there for the taking, but phzy's going to give them a little room to work, only to then wrap it right back up. Axile, a 1v5 attempt.
Man, that's off of saving last round as well, so, you know, no loss bonus. They put a lot of stock into this Axile 1v5. You can't get more than 2. That's 14 for NiP, and what should be a free route to match point.
Right, feels that way. The CT side in all its glory for the Ninjas.
Yeah, no op. Okay, they've got some money. They can still put together something, and they're going to try. They'll have some nades and Galils, maybe a couple of AKs. No op on this one. Not as bad as it could have been. Not securing bomb plants recently, but still doing well enough. What an opportunity here.
It's a big one for them. Good damage.
Oh,
Hampus.
and that's Hampus has been, you know, he's had a positive ratio of kills versus Hobbit going out for the mid control. I'm sure a lot of those rounds could have got flipped on their heads if he didn't win them.
Hobbit has not been able to find the space for success in middle. Hampus has been his kryptonite. And where's that leave Gambit? Because with this deep position from Hampus down at the bottom of middle, I mean, look at the way it just cuts off what Gambit have. Just look at the radar. It is only Gambit sitting outside this B site. But as they have, NiP also not forcing the issue. We'll concede that map control for a more comfortable 5v4. Sitting on a nice, healthy dose of utility as well. 2 smokes, 2 incendiaries. Gambit have not done enough to get it all out from them.
Okay, we want to keep an eye on the clock. We have Gambit execute really late in some of these situations, messing up their chances on the late B attacks.
It was those faster paces that finally ended up puncturing through for this T side. So if they just get bullied back into a slower move, then
30 seconds and now they're moving.
Back to winning ways. We'll see. They're trying to fight in front of the smokes here. phzy's head taking clean off. We've got 2 defenders still within sight, and they're both doing an excellent job of holding things back. But the bomb on Axile at A. This entire B fake meant for Axile to come through with success. He goes for the bomb plant instead, and it gets dropped. Not a safe spot for Hampus to push, and another fizzle out from Gambit. This looks weak.
Oh my god, that was so ambitious. I mean, they did it at 30 seconds. They got into the site and tried to trade out. There were a number of players there, but I mean, if they were successful on the attack on B, then they could get the bomb down, and they caused the rotation. Even if, I feel like even if Axile wins his kill, they still also need to win on the other side of the map. Because otherwise, how are they going to peel back and help Axile in the clutch situation? Was their goal to try to have Axile win a 1v2? Because that doesn't seem like a really reliable strategy. I'm actually so confused about that, to have the, you know, what looks like an eco strat on a full rifle.
So now, I say just to unleash the beasts. Snipers in all directions. Nafany just walks through the doorway with teammates ahead of him. Nobody holding phzy back. And phzy then quickly replaced right by Plopsky with smokes in their faces. Yet again, adversity for Gambit in these 5 versus 4s. Utility, omnipresent, damage. Oh, connected. Just to finish it off, he's gonna get chased, and Plopsky still stands tall. Hobbit has had no impact. He can't get this ball rolling on the offense in these last 4 or 5 rounds, and it's a 5 versus 2 for NiP to close their map pick and take it off of Gambit.
Damn, not bad, man. Not bad at all.
And we said they needed this map, so in terms of, you know, setting up the series,
they could still lose on both Vertigo and Overpass, and it's still very likely that it goes 3. But again, Overpass at the end, guaranteed now, is a very nice sign for NiP, especially considering, I mean, they're straight up out-fragging Gambit on top of having some great rounds tactically.
Huge step up from Hampus, huge moment from Plopsky here in this one. A nice little boost tried to be employed, but spotted out by Rez. And that's just going to be all the alarm bells ringing.
Oh, good luck with this. You want to go back in this situation?
I mean, how many times have these late second rotates just fallen flat? They wait, and there is still some uncertainty for NiP, so they keep players towards mid, but I mean, everything is held in a 5v2. Smokes in front of them. There's still 2 more smokes to come out from NiP. This game will not end with a bang, but instead a measly whimper. Gambit have been outclassed in the second half by the ninjas in pajamas. interz is going to answer with an op shot, but there it is, phzy to respond. interz is going to miss one. The knives are out. Who are you?
Can't get to him.
Yeah, the Tech-9 gets the frag, but if anything, that's the disrespect in this message. NiP taking Ancient, and our returning champions in Gambit bleed blood first.